What's up? What's up? This is your girl, Felicia, Lynette, Refocused, and we are getting ready to talk about healing. Do me a favor, grab your partners, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and we're getting ready to get into it. We got another hot topic for you. Are y'all ready? Go ahead on and grab that glass of wine and let's get on into it. Let's do it. Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Felicia Lynette, Refocused, and I am back with good, popular Refocus. Let's talk about healing topics. Are y'all ready to get into this? Because I am super stoked about being back. I am ready to get into our Let's Talk About Healing shows. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Before we get into our show, let me go over a few products, so let me get this out the way, and we're going to dive right on into our show. You all remember those Refocus shirts, and I have them in crew neck and in a V-neck, and then I also have those tumblers in both sizes. Good old coffee mug, because we always need coffee. And then I have a traveling coffee mug and then a wine glass. Also, don't forget, you guys, go over to Amazon and purchase my book. Don't forget, it's on Amazon and it's also on Barnes & Nobles. You can find both of those links on my personal Facebook page. Y'all ready to get into this now? I got all of that out the way so we can go ahead on and get into this healing topic. Again, I am Felicia Lynette, Refocus, and I am your host for Let's Talk About Healing. I have a special guest with me by the name of Miranda Parker, aka Miss DJ. Y'all give a shout out to my girl, Miss Miranda.
Hey girl.
Hey Miranda, how are you?
I'm well.
Good. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Miranda's going to come back a little bit later and tell you about her company, 25 Corporation, and then all the information of where you can find her. But we're going to go ahead and get on into our topic today. And our topic today is how to recover from betrayal, how to recover from rejection, and how to recover from abandonment. Now, Miranda, we've all been here. We've all had relationships that probably didn't go well. Even some family relationships. I don't want to always put that on, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. But even in some of our family dynamics, we've had some hard times. And I know because you and I have shared stories and cried in some of the same prayer circles. But so to be able to talk about betrayal, rejection, and abandonment, and I'm going to give you all some ways and how to get over those things as well as we dive into this topic, because I really want us to hone in on how did we get from going through all adversity in the relationship, dealing with issues, to getting over that foolishness and then now being healed and whole. And then, I always say this because healing is a process that's ongoing.
Yes.
You don't just get healed overnight. It doesn't, and then something can trigger, you can have a trigger, and it will remind you of all the stuff you went through way back then. But we're going to go ahead on and dive into our topic on today. How do you recover from betrayal? How do you recover from rejection and abandonment? And Miranda, just kind of go with me and flow with me on this piece. We can, in dealing with the issues, we can hold those things on and internalize them for a long time. How do you, or in any situation that you feel like talking about today, we're completely transparent, y'all. But how were you able to get over or get over the betrayal? Let's talk about the betrayal piece first.
You have to just keep going.
And then so once you keep going, you go into what? Because you can say keep going, but if someone is constantly dealing with that and rehearsing that in their mind, what piece of advice can you give to someone that says, this is how I dealt with it and this is how I got out of it?
There's no specific lesson to it. Mine was 25 years. Hence the name of my company, of my business, of my nonprofit. It took me 25 years. Was it something specific that I didn't know? I did it all.
Yeah.
I went through every phase. It was days of grief. It was days of, anxiety. It was days of tears and,
Yeah. How do you, when dealing with that, because as I'm hearing you say, it was days of that and I went through all of it. what's the perfect thing that you can tell someone that's possibly going through that and they feel like I've done it all. I was the perfect wife. I cleaned every day. I cooked every day. I did 2-3 meals a day, whatever we were home for. I took care of the kids. I made sure things were done, but yet I was still betrayed. Yet he still cheated, or yet he still walked out, and yet someone down the street was still better than me. Because a lot of times, we rehearse those things in our head, like, well, what was it that made them go after that person and not see that in me?
Oh, girl. You asking me that?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, Felicia.
That's a hard question.
Yeah, let me think on that.
Because you kind of replay that in your head over and over. And when you go to bed at nighttime and they're sleeping peacefully, you're still holding on to the trauma. You're still holding on to the hurt. And I often say this all the time, that them folks over there, they're getting good sleep.
They're not worried about me.
And we're worrying,
Right.
staying up, or because they hurt us, or wondering what they're doing now, or I told my best friend this when I was going through things. I said, what I've recognized about myself is I have held on to the beginning of people. So and I call,
that's good.
Yeah, I call them their representative. In the beginning of a relationship, people put on their best foot.
Right.
They telling you all the things you want to hear. They doing all the things that you want done, and they put their best foot forth. It's a representative of who they are, and not their true selves.
Right.
But I've been guilty of holding on to the representative. So when the real them show up, then I didn't know how to handle what they were presenting, because I kept saying, but back here they were so great.
Yeah.
Back here they did everything.
Yeah,
back here, yeah. So how do you just let that go? Because this is who you gave me, and this is who I fell in love with.
I had to focus on me.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was. I was the one that was going through it. So when God showed me, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a slap in the face. So I had to work on Miranda.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what they did to me. Okay, they did this to me.
They did it.
It hurt.
Yeah.
And
it
I had
does.
to admit, it hurt me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stay there.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay there. I sat in that thing for 25 years. I couldn't stay there anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
I often say this. I use this quote all the time on my pages, that the trauma was not your fault. But the healing is your responsibility.
It's your responsibility.
And yes, they did what they did to you. They said what they said about you. They walked all on you. They talked about you. They scandalized your name. And anybody that would listen to the lies that they were going to tell, they told them.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what your side was, because a lot of times we hold fast to the
I want to get my lick back.
Well, we want to get our lick back, but then we start looking at the God in us that says vengeance is mine, and then we're like, I'm gonna let God go on and get them.
Yep.
But meanwhile, they're still dragging you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're still posting all the stuff about you. Like, I literally went through that. And every time I would get ready to tell my side, I would be on the computer and I'll just be typing, because I'm just getting ready to tell it. Forget it, I'm not holding it in no more.
Yeah.
God's timing is like slower than my timing. I want to get them
right
while they're getting me.
No.
And then I look at it and say, hold that little delete button down and just let it go and delete it all, and just not acknowledge it at all, because I'm holding fast to the vengeance is mine. But sometimes I don't want to hold fast to the vengeance belong to God. I want to get them like they got me. But in reality, in dealing with healing, you got to get to the point that you say, I'm going to be the bigger person.
You have to.
Because as you said, it becomes about you now. Yeah. Now it's personal. Now you no longer have to deal with you and them. You got to deal with yourself. And you got to even figure out, who am I now? Who am I?
Yeah.
I said something one day that I carried along the trauma for so long that I didn't know who I was healed.
Right. Oh, wow.
And the trauma served as a defense mechanism for me.
Yeah.
So I would laugh at my pain, or people would say something. I would talk about it. I would talk about the infidelity. Well, I'm over here counting Cialis for them right now, but they going to go out and use it on somebody else. I would laugh at it as a joke. But when I sat down to deal with me, the real me, that trauma could no longer cover me any longer. Because now I'm having to face, Felicia, what are you doing? How are you doing this? And why are you allowing this to happen? Yeah. And then I think about the beat up that we do to ourselves. And you do have to ask yourself some questions that what was your responsibility in it? Like how, not just what they did, but how did I allow them to do that? So what my responsibility in this was what? And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, not just that. A good friend of mine said not too long ago, I had to ask myself, what is it about me that's attracting these type of people?
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! That is so amazing. I have my one of my life coaches and my cousin. She said to me one day, she had met somebody. We were out, and really attractive guy. She had met him, and he had seemed like he was, he had said all the right stuff. His representative had shown up. Yeah. And then when we realized that he wasn't who he said he was, she said, I need to take some days to myself. She would go and just take a little retreat. She said, because I need to figure out what about me attracted that kind of a guy. And what made me fall for that again.
Every single
and
time.
I think that when we ask ourselves that question or those questions, what is it about me that attracted that? And then what made me so gullible to that type of behavior?
Right.
It really makes you do a self-awareness, and it makes you check yourself to say, wow, I can't put all this on them.
We can't.
You got to take your fault in it, your responsibility in it. So let's talk to the young ladies. Let me talk to the young ladies and the young guys even, because we oftentimes deal with this topic, but we don't deal with it from a broad situation, male and female. Let me talk to the young ladies and the young men out there who possibly could be dealing with some stuff, some traumas from relationships. They didn't get over some things. Some people betrayed them. What would you say to your younger self today, knowing what you know right now?
Oh wow! First of all, I would love her. I would tell her that she's okay. And that it's not her fault. That's the younger Miranda.
Yeah.
Now the older Miranda. I learned some things. Yeah. And some of it was my fault. And I would say, I forgive you.
Yeah, that's good. That's powerful.
I would have to forgive her.
Yeah. I think that if I look back now and what I could say to my younger self, it would be, take your time.
Yes. Oh my God.
Pace yourself. Don't be such in a rush to be grown and to get married and to have the life you thought that everybody else had was so good. I looked at people and I thought, oh my God, that's what I wanted. And all along they were miserable too. Yeah. And I didn't know that, because the picture that they painted to the world was perfection. And so I would really say, be true to yourself, know what you can accept, know what you cannot accept, and know the traumas that it could possibly add to your life
for years
later.
Yes.
I often hold up my picture of me when I was maybe about 4 or 5, and I apologize to her. Because I made her some promises that I wanted to be at a certain place by a certain time that I didn't arrive at, and so I often have to take back and just go and sit and talk to her and say, hey, you're gonna be okay. Just go ahead on and do. You didn't accomplish it by the timeline that you had it, but it ain't too late.
It's not.
And to apologize for putting her in the predicaments that I put her in, I think when I think back to my childhood, I didn't meet my dad until I was 18.
Oh, wow.
So what I wanted to do, or what I did in relationships, was I started dating people because I was looking for daddy.
Oh yeah.
So it was security for me, and instead of choosing someone that would be a good mate for me and for my future self, I dated someone that I felt like could provide for me the way a daddy could, because I didn't know that.
Right.
And I think it took me to get out that first marriage to realize, hey, you're not as mature as you thought. You're looking for daddy. You're looking for security. Figure out life on your own and be a grown up, And it's so tripped out because now I can have those healthy conversations today.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Years ago, I couldn't because I don't think that I was able to face that. I wasn't able to face my fault. Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
I think to know what your fault is, right?
Yeah.
When you acknowledge what your fault is, which is one of the points that we're going to get to a little bit later in telling you how to get over this and how to deal with these things. When you acknowledge your fault, when you acknowledge yourself and the part that you play, healing can really take place.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of like how we do our kids. Everything bad they do, we be like, oh, they got that from their daddy.
Yeah, they did though.
Yeah.
They did. Mine did. Mine did.
I literally had to take a step back and look at my daughter and say, "You didn't get all of this from your
Girl,
dad.
those
Some of
kids
that's
are
me."
just like me. Oh my God. It's scary.
Yes.
It's scary. Especially that son of mine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, listen, you guys, we're going to break just for a moment. We're going to give you all a little commercial break, and we're going to come right back. Don't forget to subscribe to the We Believe Digital channel. See y'all in a moment.
Are you dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, but you're not sure where or how to start? At Entrepreneurs Academy 101, our online program will guide you step by step on how to start and grow your own business. We offer courses such as how to write a business plan, how to create a budget, and so much more. Our online training program is designed for you to learn at your own pace, and there's no set order to complete this program. Because our academy is online, you have the choice to learn with a group, with friends, or individually. Upon completion of the entire curriculum, you will receive a certificate of achievement to acknowledge that you have completed the training needed to become a successful entrepreneur. So enroll today to design the life that you love. Contact your entrepreneur coach, Brenda Myers, at 601-672-0695 or visit our website at www.entrepreneursacademy101.com for more information.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee. To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
Hey, it's your girl, Felicia, Lynette, Refocused, back at you all. Did you all enjoy those commercials? Make sure that you all take some time to subscribe to the channel, like this channel, so that we can keep you all informed of when we'll be back next. So we're right back today. We're talking about how to recover from betrayal, rejection, and abandonment. And I got my girl, Miss Miranda, Miss DJ in the house.
I am here, y'all.
She is here. And I am going to kind of put her on the spot for a moment and have her to share a story of when she had to deal with either one, betrayal, rejection, or abandonment. And then we're going to talk to you from that angle.
Oh, wow. So, in a relationship. Again, like you said earlier, it was a representation of the person. Mm-hmm. Everything was perfect in the beginning. Everything was perfect, which is a red flag. Yeah, I know that now. But I knew that I wasn't healed from a previous situation. So I had already went through one of my fears coming up was abandonment.
Yeah.
I knew my dad. My dad was in my life, has always been in my life. Mm-hmm. When he and my mom divorced, I don't know. I went through this, just fear of abandonment. So, but where I messed up is I lived looking for it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I let my guard down, that's whenever. Yeah. It just seemed like my world fell apart. I ended up marrying a guy that I really didn't know. Didn't know anything about him. And literally we woke up one day and it's over. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So going back, and then after that, my silly self jumps right into another relationship. I'm talking about days later. Yeah. Right into another relationship where that person literally wanted to take over my whole life. Like he, as much as he liked the person that he met, he didn't want me to stay that person. I needed to be in
what he
wants
you to be molded. Yeah,
in a box. And that was pretty recent. That's been not even a year. Yeah, a year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever. But yeah, so that was me just I just wanted to be loved, girl.
Listen, don't we all? I think that's the direction that we go in, because we're looking for love, and instead of allowing love to find us, I say today I want someone to find me healthy, and if I'm not healthy, If I'm not healthy, I'm not fit to be found. You know what I'm saying?
That's really good.
Yeah, and I need to, and when I'll have moments where my unhealthy self show up, and I'll have to step back and look and say, nope, thought you were ready, and you're not. And the sad part is I want to get to the place that I recognize that early. Because I feel like I involve other people.
We do.
And then now involving them, then now, am I causing trauma to them that was once caused to me?
We are.
And I never want to be the guilty person that causes trauma to someone else's life, because I know what that feels like. I know how it's taken me a moment to get over stuff that happened in 2021.
Right.
2023 still affected by it. And so I think that when we look at things like that, I just want to get to the point that I see it. I recognize, Felicia, you're not ready. It's okay to be by yourself.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I think I was always so scared because I'd never been by myself. I went straight from my mom to my first husband.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all of his children, all of our children in between. And then, you know, I just kept going and feeling like I needed a relationship.
Yeah.
It wasn't until recently I got to know Miranda.
Yeah.
Mrs. DJ.
Listen,
like, who knew?
I'm still learning, Felicia.
Yeah.
Real talk, I am still learning who I am. I had a friend that sat and told me the other day that they felt like I was scared of commitment. Right?
That hit me too.
Yeah. And it really took me aback for a moment, because at first I was like, nah, that ain't the truth. Like, I was ready to cuss them out. That ain't true. And then I sat back. Literally every morning I think about that comment.
Sounds like a prophet.
You know?
Yeah.
Could be.
He might know what he's talking about.
Some kind of one. But I sit back every morning and I hear that comment in my head. And I said, I never thought that I would say I was really scared of commitment. I won't say I'm scared of commitment, but this is what I'll say.
Okay.
I am scared of losing the me that I found while being single.
Right. The freedom. We spoke about that earlier.
Yeah.
The freedom.
Yeah. And if I lose that, if I give that up, then the me that I have now got to know, am I going to lose her again?
I don't want
because
to lose her.
when I get in relationships, I become totally inundated. You know?
Why do we do that, though?
Foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still be you.
Yes.
And look, I'm saying it to you, but I'm
But
talking
you mean
to me.
it to yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can still be
Yeah.
you,
but I get so inundated with him. I just my world, their world becomes my world, and before you know it, I'm looking at things like, I used to go to church every Sunday. Now I'm like, I can miss once a month. You know what I'm saying?
And
I ain't got to be at Bible class this Wednesday. They ain't gonna miss me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I it's only because I've become inundated with their world. Now I'm trying to incorporate both of them instead of setting my own standard.
Right.
Why am I not setting my own standard
Why
to to be? So I think that when I look back on into some of the trauma that I have encountered, some of the trauma that I have encountered, I think back to some of the things that I did to play a part in that. As we talked about in the first segment, we were talking about holding on to their representatives.
Yes.
Right? I'm so guilty of trying to remember and believe everything that they told me in the beginning, that when they show me their true naked selves, that I ignore what I'm now being shown to what I wanted to see and wanted to believe in.
Because that's what
them.
they said.
Yeah. But is that wrong on my part? Because that's what they gave me and that's the them that I fell in love with?
Yeah.
Am I thinking wrong, or were they wrong?
I don't think either person's wrong. I think it just turned into what it turned into, and as grown people we have to deal with what's put in front of us.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's kind of
somebody got to be wrong.
Well, everybody can't be right. Well, I will say this. I often say relationships are a contractual deal.
Right.
And we come up with an agreement. Hey, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do life. And we both sign on the dotted line to say we agree.
I like that.
Somewhere along the line, one person evolves.
Okay.
Now the contract either is null and void or it has to be altered. Because now you're somebody different.
Okay.
So maybe no one is wrong. Maybe someone just evolves to
Right.
a different place. Maybe
Life be life.
life does life.
Yeah.
But what if they got together and they were unhealthy?
That part.
Yeah.
And then they got healed and they realized
One of them got healed.
I can't carry you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're weighing me down.
Yeah. And then so you want to step out, or you want to deal with that, or you connect with somebody else that's healed
Now
like
see,
you.
I think that's where you're wrong. If you move on,
Well-
move on and connect.
So what happens? Because even when we're talking about betrayal, we're talking about rejection and abandonment. What happens if one of those three categories fall in the lines of infidelity? Did they connect with somebody that was healed like they were healed, or that could identify like they identify, which left you stuck and now you feel betrayed?
Woo, you deep.
Well, listen, I'm just trying to get the people healed. Listen, we've all had to walk this walk at some time, and all I'm trying to do is get the folk healed so that, we can all be a healthy place. Yeah, so what would be, or what's the outcome, or what's the remedy for that? What if they really just stepped out because they wanted to connect to somebody whole?
But that's not whole, though. I mean, think about it. Would a whole person connect with somebody that's broken? Obviously, they're broken.
But I'm saying, okay, let me put you in the equation,
Okay.
right? Say you're married.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Okay.
You're married. You all got together and you all were both broken.
Right.
You've done some work while you're in this marriage now,
Right.
to start getting yourself healed.
Yes.
And the other person didn't. So now you're here and they're here.
Yes.
And you're like, man, we just keep bumping heads. But then now you're having this conversation with Johnny at work, and now you all are identifying with each other on this level.
Right.
Because you couldn't bring him up to this level. Now you met somebody on this level.
I see what you're saying, but I can't go there with you.
I'm not saying it's right.
No.
Okay,
Girl,
okay.
Baby, we passed right and wrong.
Right and wrong, we out of that.
Yeah, we passed that. I'm just saying that, okay, if I'm healed, then why can't I help the other person heal? Now, where that person loses me, I'm sorry, puppy. Where that person loses me is their refusal to heal or recognize,
Right.
like, hey, you see, I've gotten myself together,
Right.
But you want to stay in this dump. I gotta let that person. I'm gonna have to let them go.
Right. And that goes back to the contract. Now we either got to
Exactly.
do a
It's
null and
gone.
void to the contract, or we either got to renegotiate
Yeah,
the contract.
it gotta go.
The terms that could possibly say, I could deal with you on this level, but you got to let me still do X, Y, and Z, because now I still need to grow for myself.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
I can't let you kill me.
Now, for the record, everybody, we are not saying divorce.
Right.
That is not what we're
Right.
saying.
We're not
We are
saying
solely talking about you being at one level of
Right.
your healing place when you connected to somebody and both of you all were trauma bonded. Let me say that.
I like that.
Both of you all were trauma bonded. Both of you all came together. Y'all had trauma. You were coming from a bad relationship. They came from a bad relationship. All of a sudden, you get healed. So we're not saying walk out on the marriage. You just got to do the work and be willing to understand that maybe that person won't get to the place that you are.
Now I'm gonna tell you something. The way that I look at my previous fumbles, or whatever you want to call it, that's what I call them. I absolutely, without a doubt, believe that God had everything to do with those people falling off of me.
Okay, absolutely. I believe that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that they couldn't go with me.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough to carry me.
But do you think that sometimes we get in relationships and it was probably never supposed to be a relationship?
Yes.
Maybe y'all were supposed to talk healing talk, or maybe you were supposed to talk business talk, but yet you got into a relationship with them.
We were supposed to be praying. Child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we let me talk about us women, because I'm a lady, okay?
A lady.
I'm a lady.
Okay,
I'm gonna talk about us women. I ain't gonna talk about y'all men, because I'm not y'all. I can talk about me. We dive on in there with our little fast step, because we feel like we got the ability to change somebody.
Yeah, right.
And
Right.
we barely working on changing ourselves.
Right.
So you don't have the ability to change someone. And then yet, now you get in it, and then he's not measuring up to what you thought he should measure up. And all of a sudden, it's trauma.
It's right.
All of a sudden, you're dealing with
Right.
rejection and abandonment because he told you he liked to be by himself sometimes. So he'd be sitting off there in the corner in the living room, and you mad because you want to cuddle. And you're dealing with rejection. But that was supposed to be your prayer partner.
I'm sorry.
That was supposed to be your prayer partner, sis. You were not
Right.
supposed to connect with him on an intimate level. And listen, this goes back to what I said earlier, though. Why don't we recognize those signs early?
Because
We want what we want.
Yeah.
It is,
It's in
as
us.
the old people say, I keep saying the old people say, but I'm old
we
people
the old
now.
people now.
I'm old
Right.
people now. And,
Right.
as my seasoned people used to say in my family, the flush get in the way.
the flush.
The flush get in the way. And then it start making you do things or,
It
that you
does.
probably
It
shouldn't
does.
be doing.
It does. We let our guard down.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
we
think
let our guard
that
down.
my guards have been down a time or two in life.
Yeah.
And
A few.
probably because I just wanted what I wanted. I wanted that fairy tale. And I still believe in the
I
institution
do
of marriage
too.
and love and all that it stands for.
I do.
I don't want to get married no more. I don't. I just say God's gonna have to open the sky and be like, hey, this is him this time. I just don't.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know.
heartache got the heartache, and you come up with the loser end of the stick all the time. It's like, nope, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, we're gonna take another commercial break. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna take another commercial break. While you are waiting, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button. Come on, y'all, get into this with us, okay? Because we're coming back. We'll be right back.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, Keepers of the Knowledge for People Who Speak the Truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Hey, have you heard about the Accountable Card? It's more than a card. It's a complete mobile banking service that's accountable to all of us. You'll get a no credit check debit card anywhere Visa is accepted to make purchases, deposits, even get or transfer cash with an FDIC insured bank account managed from our smartphone app. There's even a pre-approved no interest line of credit if you need emergency cash. So why go to the bank when you can have ours in your pocket? Get accountable. Just download our app today.
Hey, it's your girl, Felicia, Lynette, Refocused, and I am back. We're getting ready to wrap this thing on up. We're going to give you some how-tos, Miranda. We're going to go ahead and let's talk about how do you recover from betrayal, rejection, and abandonment. And I really want, if you all got a pen and paper, go ahead and write this down. I want to make sure that even though we're talking about real life situations and circumstances and things that we've gone through and dealt with, and even some of the things that we're able to laugh about now, because once you heal, you can laugh about those things. Even some of the things that we're able to joke about now, I really want us to make sure that we give you the information on how to heal. How do you deal with this betrayal? How do you deal with rejection and abandonment? And so I'm going to dive right on in to our points on how to heal from abandonment issues, rejection, and betrayal. The first thing I say, Miranda, you got to own your story.
Amen.
I think that when you are in a place and you are dealing with something that you now are trying to get healed from, you have to first recognize and name what happened to you.
Yep.
If you cannot identify with your own story of that it happened, I know like in your corporation, you all talk a lot about sexual assault. If you can't really tell yourself, I was sexually assaulted.
You'll never get over it.
You'll never get healed from that moment, and you will always be reliving every single time it happened, and you won't even be able to have healthy relationships.
Nope.
Because you'll always be going back and forth, or how did this happen to me? But you haven't identified, or you blocked it out of your mind.
Yep.
You know, I see those shows all the time
Mm-hmm.
that because people don't want to deal with it, they block it out of their mind.
It didn't happen.
It did not happen. It was like it didn't happen. And because they never dealt with the reality. And then years later, when they get older, all of a sudden they're breaking down from things that took place in their childhood.
Yep.
From sexual assault or some type of abuse. They dealt with it early on, and now here you are 50 and 60 still trying to get healed from some stuff that took place when you were 5 and 6 years old, because you really didn't get a chance to own your story.
You're right.
And think about the little girl, as I keep saying, reflecting back to that, whose parents didn't even believe them.
Right.
You know,
we went through that
in
our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to believe that Uncle Ray Ray now wasn't like that, or you had a child who told a bunch of lies, so you couldn't even believe the truth.
Or don't embarrass the family.
Or don't embarrass the family. You know, you don't want Ray Ray and them in jail because
Well,
he
got them children. And
he got them kids, and he got that wife he got to take care of. So you hide all that. You sweep it up under the rug, but yet someone who actually dealt with the assault didn't get healed.
Did not.
And they're carrying this around with them. Let me talk to everybody that when you're dealing with trauma of any kind, you got to own that it happened.
That's it.
You got to face reality that this happened. And when you do that, hear me good, you take your power back.
That's it.
You take your power back, because what I see happening a lot of times, Miranda, is that you rehearse things in your head that somebody did to you, and every time you rehearse it, it's like you're reliving it all over again. And guess what that joker doing?
Living
the best life.
Yeah.
So you got to own your story. Mm-hmm. You got to own your story. Number two, the second thing that I want to say, and I really want to hone in on this one a little bit, Miranda, you could probably add some things to it, is identifying and feel your feelings. Mm-hmm. You got to let yourself feel that anger.
It hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to let yourself feel and say it hurt.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It hurt me. It discouraged me from even being, or discouraged me from wanting to get to my next. I remember that I said something years ago, that I would be in my house dealing with depression, and I would be kicking and screaming behind closed doors and throwing pillows all over. Oh, wow. Nobody knew that I was dealing with the hell that I was dealing with, because out in front, I had a good old mask on. Yes, I was preaching to people and doing stuff in church and praying for people that they were getting delivered, and I couldn't let them know that I was in bondage. Yep. You gotta identify and feel
what you feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to go and dive into that, because honestly, if you don't, it's one of them things you will not. If you don't do any of these steps, I think I have like 5 of them. If you don't do any of these steps, you will never get healed. Nope. And it's a rough place to be dealing with trauma over and over and over again. I talk to people in coaching people. I talk to people that are still dealing with trauma from yesteryears, and to see, you know how you hear people when people tell their story, you still dealing with that? You ought to be over that by now. You can't tell a person how long to breathe. You can't tell them how long to deal with their problems.
Those are fighting words.
Yes. They got to deal with that and take the time that they need to get
whatever time they need. That's so
I don't care
important.
if it's 30, 40 years from now.
Absolutely.
Healing is a daily process.
It is.
Some things you will never, ever, ever completely get over, because you'll always have a trigger
to deal with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like dealing with the loss of a loved one.
Yeah.
You
grief.
Never get over grief.
No.
Never.
No.
You just learn to cope with it better.
That's it.
As time goes on.
That's it.
They say time heals all wounds, but I don't think time heals the wounds. It just buys you some time from dealing with those things so up front and close.
I believe that.
The third thing, find a healthy outlet for expression.
Yep. This is good.
Talking it out. Mm-hmm. life will tell you that when you're going through things to go isolate yourself. I don't want to be bothered with people. I just want to close myself in.
That's the worst thing to do.
When you're dealing with that, you know what you do? You end up talking to yourself back and forth. And telling yourself, I'm still dealing with this, and you're crying, you're not getting over it. You need those healthy people, mind you, let me say this again, you need those healthy people in your life that will help have healthy conversations with you and tell you how you can help get over this. I remember somebody, I was going through a divorce in 2021, and I was sitting in my house, and I had some friends just pull up on me. They said, come on, it's enough. You're no longer sitting in this house. Those moments helped me. Had I told them no, or had I shut them out, I never would have dealt with the freedom and the healing steps that I needed to get me to where I am today.
And there's no order.
It's not.
There's no order. You go from angry to crying. You're all over.
Back to angry again. Because you can actually be like, okay, I've dealt with this piece, and then as soon as a trigger happens, it's like
you're right back.
Right back there.
And that's okay.
It is okay. It is okay. There's a portion in my book that I talk about in situation 6, I believe. And y'all get my book, okay? It's on Amazon.
It's so good.
It's on Amazon, and it's on Barnes and Nobles. But there's a situation that I talk about in my book, and I talk about what had happened to me during that time, and everything that was stolen from me, all my clothes, everything that was stolen out of my church. And there's some mornings that I wake up, because usually I got to lay in the bed and to be like, tell me what to wear. I don't want to get up until I think about it. There's some outfits that I'll think about in my head. Oh, I would wear that outfit.
But you don't have it anymore.
And I don't have it. So now I'm back at that place. I'm crying. I'm hurt, because now this joker, I'm reminded that I left with a week's worth of clothes from 4 closets full of clothes. I left with 1 week's full of clothes. And now I'm rehearsing that, because now I'm looking for that particular outfit again. And so in that, I had to have a healthy outlet for expression. In counseling, they call it psychodrama. Psychodrama is the thing that you go to that help you, that brings you your peace.
I like it.
For some of us, for me, it's prayer, it's worship, it's reading scriptures. For me, that allows me to shut the world out and really just focus on my relationship with God. You got to figure out in your healthy outlet of expression, what is your psychodrama? What are the things that you can go and rely on that's going to bring you peace? That's going to bring you that sense of calmness, so that when you were in a rage, now you're no longer there. What would you say your psychodrama is?
Crying.
That's a good release.
Crying and sleep.
If
I can go to sleep, I've always told myself, I'm going to go to sleep. And if I don't wake up, all right. But if I wake up, then that means it wasn't the end of the world. And I can get through it.
You can get through it. I like that. That's really good. I'm gonna have to incorporate that into something. That's really good.
Thank you.
So, but find you a healthy outlet of expression. Whatever your psychodrama is. For at one time, it became exercise for me. I was in the gym day and night, right? And that was a healthy place for me, because I was able to release all the tension in working out, release all the stress. Find your healthy outlet. Find your psychodrama. You need this. I'm telling you, you'll thank me later. Point number 4.
That's good.
Recognize you're not the problem. I said this earlier. The trauma happened to you. It wasn't your fault.
It did.
But the healing is your responsibility. But you recognize that you're not the sole problem here. You didn't cause the trauma on yourself. You didn't do anything that could have made them cause trauma to you. They did it. They got to own up to that. But you got to recognize that you are not the problem. Another critical stop on your journey toward healing from abandonment is acknowledging and understanding.
That's good.
That you're not the problem. And when you acknowledge it and you understand that you are not the problem, you understand that you take back your everything that's valuable. Everything that you were stripped of, everything that you had to deal with, you're taking it back now. I'm taking my power back. And you got to say, you wake up in the morning time, literally every day. I'm going to wrap this up, you all. But literally every day I've been waking up lately saying, you know what? I'm getting this back. I'm getting this back. I'm not going to be bound like this ever again in life. I think we got a thing in our declaration at church where we where we talk about the things that we see today we won't see no longer.
Nope.
I'm taking it all back, and I'm trying to stay and remain in that healthy place so I can get it back.
It's a fight.
So when it comes,
fight.
when I get it back, I know how to deal with it, and I won't mistreat that whatever God has for me anymore.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last point: be willing to ask for help.
That's the part.
Be willing to ask for help, even from a professional. Y'all,
Yeah, that's the part.
it is okay to have counseling. It is okay to have a therapist. It's okay to have a life coach.
It is.
Those of you, and most of my audience are church-based, but those of you that are in church for years, we have been taught that we don't do counseling. We don't go to therapists. No, we just go to God in prayer. Y'all better go and sit before somebody, lay on somebody's couch. Get some help.
Yeah.
You can't hold all this in. You've already had friends that have already proven that they can't hold your secrets.
Right.
They not going to hold them.
Right.
You need to go find you somebody licensed to talk to, sit down, get you some help. I hope these 5 steps were helpful.
They were so good.
To help you deal with recovering from betrayal, rejection, and abandonment.
That's good.
I'll be right back here next Monday at 7:30. And I am going, Miranda, tell us where they can find you.
So it's a couple of places. I'm Miranda Parker on Facebook. I'm Mrs. DJ on Facebook. I'm 25 Corporation on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What's the other one? YouTube. Yeah, it's a bunch of different places. Trust me, if you're looking for me, you'll be able to find me.
You'll be able to find
Not
it.
a problem.
And if you need a DJ, y'all, trust me, she's hands down one of the best. So y'all go ahead on, hit her up on Facebook, contact her to get all her information so y'all can book her. You can also find me on Facebook as Felicia Lynette. I'm there in Felicia Lynette. I'm in a Refocused group. I have Felicia Lynette as a business page. You can find me Felicia Lynette Refocused on Instagram. But don't forget, if you need to get any of my material, order the book and all the items that I showed you in the very beginning. Just DM me until I get my website back up. DM me for what you want, and I'll be able to connect you how to get it. Thank you all so much for joining us today with Let's Talk About Healing. We're going to catch you on next Monday, same time, same place at 7:30. You all have a good day. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Bye.
What's up? This is your girl, Felicia Lynette Refocused, and we are getting ready to talk about healing. Do me a favor, grab your partners, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and we're getting ready to get into it. We got another hot topic for you. Are y'all ready? Go ahead on and grab that glass of wine and let's get on into it. Let's do it.